If you will indulge me for the next 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to complain about something incredibly trivial, but it matters to me a lot. If you've watched anything that I do, if you've consumed any of the Coping Hour, a show that you can listen to on this channel or on Spotify, you know how much I care about broadcasting. And you know that on any given night, it is very, very hard for me to admit that somebody had a bad night. Ultimately, I see how hard that job is, and I know that, bad nights do happen. How about just a fucking generationally bad night from Kenny Smith? I'm watching this, All-Star Weekend, Saturday night, the skills competition, the dunk contest, the three-point contest, which, by the way, the dunk contest literally Mac McClung just won. As I'm recording this, he just hoisted the trophy. Okay, so this is immediately after. It's 10 o'clock at night. I sat here for like 3 goddamn hours watching Kenny Smith shit the bed. Like, absolutely. It's one thing if you're just going to be some shithead old head who's like, damn, you guys remember how much cooler things were when we played, like bumping elbows with Reggie Miller? Fuck you, first of all. It is inherently annoying. But second of all, when Sabrina Ionescu goes up there, I expect to hear some crazy shit from the internet. I really do. We all did, right? It's inevitable. Even if she won, she put on a fucking show. Her and Steph, they went nuclear. Okay? You could argue like it was kind of just you blinked and it was over. Dude, I don't even care. It was awesome. It was fun. But when Kenny Smith is like, and I see him on the goddamn TV right now, and I wish I didn't have it muted. Fuck this guy. Seriously, right now for tonight, I like Kenny Smith. At the end of the day, I like Kenny Smith. I'm going to get over this within like 3 days. Because this All-Star Weekend, like, it's so inconsequential and literally who gives a shit. At the end of the day, I do like Kenny Smith. He is a good dude. He's a good, not a broadcaster, but as a commentator, as a voice for the NBA, he is good at what he does. Okay, I don't need to fucking sit up here and lie. But tonight was on a fundamental level embarrassing. Right? We can call it what it is. Because when he's talking about like, oh, well, why wouldn't she just shoot from the W line? Oh, well, she's got a smaller ball, so like, well, it's like, dog. She's the one who wanted to shoot. And by the way, she put up 26. Did you see what happened in that first round, Kenny? The 4 dudes who had to eventually go into that tiebreaker shootout, they all had fucking 26. Kenny Smith is going to tell you that it's just because the ball is smaller. Like, that's why. Well, she should have been shooting with an NBA ball. Fuck you. Honestly. Seriously. And then everything else, it's the three-point contest. I don't remember who went second, but the second person is going. And he's just like, yeah, he's like, man, nobody's really standing up in this building. He's like, people just really, he's like shitting on the product all night. And I think it is fair to point to certain things at All-Star Weekend, like the dunk contest, by the way, and be like, it's really hard. Like, it's the reason that, let me finish the point that I was trying to make. It's the three-point contest. He's like, see, nobody's standing up. He goes, when the dunk contest goes on, man, you guys remember Vince when he got the place rocking, everybody's on their feet? He's like, people don't do that for the three-point contest. They actually have in recent years, by the way, when several fucking records have been broken. Remember Steph, like, not that long ago? I don't remember what Kenny's call was, but it's over! Like, that's like his fucking thing. Name a more iconic duo than, like, Reggie Miller, and this isn't about Reggie Miller because he had a good night, because he was actually sort of being the voice of reason. Kevin Harlan, he kind of just sort of fell into the background, which as the quote unquote play-by-play guy in this instance, that's kind of his job, is to just sort of, call what is actually happening and not sort of add any more nuance to it than what is needed. And you need to let Reggie and Kenny do their job. I get that. Right. But name a more iconic duo than Reggie Miller and Kenny Smith being like, oh, he needs this one. Oh, he's got to make this one. And then they fucking miss it. Right? And Kenny Smith, like, a dude will hit 2 straight shots. He's like, yep, here it is. They're in their rhythm. And then they'll fucking brick 5 in a row. Right? Like, this is just what he does. I don't know, seriously, if there was a more fucking annoying person that you could have put on TV tonight. And what I wanted to say a minute ago is it's fair to shit on certain things about All-Star Weekend. Like, to their credit, the NBA, even if the skills competition this year was like, at first a little bit like, what's going on here? But then as soon as they started to do it, you're like, oh, okay, I get what's going on. And this is actually kind of fun, right? Extending it. And like, I love in recent years adding teams to it, and you kind of make it more of a team thing. And they've done a really good job with that. And I think it was a really, really fun experience. But Kenny Smith spent 3 hours being like, this kind of sucks. They start the broadcast and Kenny, is asked, like, what are you looking forward to most? And he was like, I hope I don't fucking fall asleep. And Kevin Harlan, being the goddamn professional that he is, was like, okay, asshole, say something else that's not going to piss off the network or the league or our sponsors. Like, can you give me can you be fucking for real for 2 seconds? Like, that's how he started the night. And he was like, you know, I guess the dunk contest, because that's what everybody cares about. Do they? Like, be fucking for real. Like, do they actually, though? Mac McClung, all the credit in the world to him. He deserved to go back-to-back. Between the judges, oh my God, and that's a 30-minute conversation in and of itself. Jesus Christ, good for the crowd in Indianapolis for being like, fuck you guys. You guys are not good at this literally at all. How many times in the dunk contest, by the way, do you just see a dunk that, like, even if you can't pinpoint who did it in the past, you're like, I've seen that 15 times. And that ultimately is the issue with the dunk contest in 2024 is it's really hard to innovate. Where, like, the three-point contest, you don't need to do anything different because, you know, you keep the same format and guys just hit more shots. Like, dog, we had 4 dudes tied at 26. Huh? That's insane. But to hear all of the bullshit out of, and he's talking about, like, so Jacob Toppin goes out there and Harlan just makes like a brief comment. He's like, hey, here's a fun little nugget I got for you guys. The shoes that he's wearing are actually the ones that Obi was wearing when he won the dunk contest. And Kenny goes, if you need to announce, you know, what's cool about your dunk, then, like, it's actually not that cool and it kind of takes away from it. My brother in Christ, your broadcast partner did it. Jacob Toppin did not do that. What you're saying here, and then his barometer for like what was a cool dunk to Mac McClung, like kind of like taking his hands off the ball. They were talking about, like, you know, passing it to himself or whatever, sort of dropping it in midair and recatching it. That was nasty. Dunk of the night for sure. Nasty. Kai Cenat, why the fuck did they put him in a chair? The motherfucker is like 5'6". We're sitting here watching it, and then they're, like, bringing out more people. I say to my girlfriend after he fucking dunks over Kai Cenat, what, are they going to dunk over Wee Man next? What the fuck? You going to put Wee Man on his knees? Be like, oh, my God. Sick. The hell was that all about? Boring. Snooze fest. Between the judges and Kenny Smith specifically, fuck this weekend. The whole thing. Fuck it. It sucked. It is so hard for me. I like, take it personally when people shit on broadcasters, again, because I'm very narrative driven. And what comes with that is like the sort of, I don't know how to articulate this, but I care a lot about what goes in, the effort that goes into broadcasting a game from both the play-by-play guy and the color commentator. I care a lot. And it is not nothing, not to sound like an asshole who's like, if I'm saying this thing, it's a big deal. But even if you're not familiar with my content, please know I do not say this lightly about any broadcaster. On a fundamental level, that was an atrocious night from Kenny Smith. Stay home next year, seriously. Because if you're going to be this fucking inconvenienced by helping stage this grand weekend where the NBA is supposed to be celebrating their most talented players, if you can't help but live in the past and talk about how much this product in front of you fucking sucks, I hope somebody gets in his ear about this. And again, I will get over it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up, but that's why I'm recording this right now, because what I'm feeling is real. I don't care how trivial it is. If you're going to make me sit here for 3 hours, they didn't fucking tie me down and make me do it. If you're going to do the broadcast, do the fucking broadcast. Is my suggestion. Maybe that. I'm bothered by this. I'm really, really bothered by this. That's all I got. Kenny Smith, put his ass in jail. Fuck this guy. Just for the night. Put him in jail.